So the SPY is currently having a massive gap down during the extended hours trading session. I'm going to be walking you through step by step the key levels of interest that we are planning to trade the best setups at the best prices into this week. Let's get straight into tonight's analysis. And then in terms of the end of this video, I'm going to be walking you through all the trades that we ended up making on Friday. Let's get straight into it. So in terms of the SPY, this is what I want you to understand. As you can see during the extended hours trading session, we are having a massive gap down, currently trading at $590. In terms of recent patterns, the SPY did recently end up having a massive gap down from a similar level. And then as you could see, it ended up bottoming out during the extended hours trading session. Then it began to reverse to fill the gap above. Now, in terms of one thing I do want to point out in terms of some differences, you can see in this situation, if we were to measure the overall move, the SPY ended up closing at 608, which is the level where I told you overall that's going to be a short bias level. We could push a little bit higher for all-time highs, but overall that's considered a bearish level. And then in terms of like a bearish confirmation, if you look at the daily chart, if you're ever seeing SPY or a stock close the gap, so you can see right here, there was a gap to fill at 607. Once the SPY filled the gap, it formed a red bearish daily candlestick at the gap, and then it ended up selling off lower before reversing, right? You can see right here, we had the gap at 608. SPY formed a red bearish daily candlestick, which is a bearish daily candlestick confirmation pattern, along with the red, green, red bearish pattern, red, green, red bearish pattern, fills the gap right here, fills the gap right here, sells off hard to fill the gap below, to fill the gap below. You see the patterns in terms of what it is that I'm talking about. So from a daily chart perspective, this was extremely bearish in terms of Friday's close. It literally closed the gap once we tested basically all-time highs, and then it formed a red bearish daily candlestick along with a red, green, red pattern, along with a red, green, red pattern, along with a massive sell-off to fill the gap, massive sell-off to fill the gaps. So in terms of where we stand, this is one thing in terms of measuring the move that I want to point out. So the SPY right here closed at 608. The reason why I'm talking about this is going to help measure a potential short-term bounce and reversal level heading into this week. So right here, we gapped down from 608. Where did we bottom? We bottomed at 590. So that is an 18-point move to the downside. Then we had a reversal. So in terms of where we ended up closing at 602, right? So what we're going to do is, you're going to see right here, SPY's at 590, 602, right? So we had a 12-point drop, 6 more points. So where we can potentially bottom and have a reversal, and this is what I would consider an auto buy level with this confirmation of measuring the overall price action move. I'm telling you, I would buy call options without a confirmation at this specific level. Now, I always recommend traders to use a confirmation at the levels, wait for some sort of 30-minute candlestick confirmation floor at support. But based off the measured move in the pattern, I think it's an absolute no-brainer heading into this week to be buying call options in between this range. So these are going to be the levels, man. This 585, 584, and then there's a gap that's waiting to fill below at 582. That zone is going to be a strong dip buy zone. Now, in terms of higher levels above that, so a higher level above that is going to be like 585, 78. On the higher levels that are less oversold, you're going to want to use strong bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations. But I'm telling you, man, towards that 584 and under, even 585, is going to be phenomenal dip buying opportunities to buy call options, likely for a quick reversal without a confirmation. So write that down. That's the first overall game plan. Now, that was measured off the overall move in price action. Now, here's what I want you to understand in terms of the overall daily chart. I'm going to walk you through these overall levels that I'm seeing as well. So I gave you the oversold zone where I would just buy call options without a confirmation, but I encourage you to use a confirmation. Now, one thing I want to point out is take a look at this pattern. This daily candlestick right here, you can see how it looks, right? So if you look at this daily candlestick right here, looks very similar to these daily candlesticks right here. As you can see, it had an overall bullish recovery, right? And if you just go further back throughout the chart history, you can see right here, same daily candlestick, and then you can see it had a massive gap down, bullish recovery. So again, there will be dip buying opportunities. Now, this is what I want you to understand, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the daily chart. I'm going to walk you through this make or break level. We are literally sitting at it right now. This is what I want you to understand, man. 590 and 589, that's your make or break support zone. So 589, this is what we call a gap breakdown, right? So 589, this is a gap breakdown. And 590, that's your make or break, you could say resistance in a way, right? So this is what I want you to understand. Take a look at this daily chart, right? So if the SPY goes under 589 and then we spike back up, we form lower highs, previous support reacts as a resistance, then the bears are going to take control and we're going to drop back down to the gap. There's a gap to fill at 582. It's going to start to reverse in between the gap, 582 to that 584 measured level, to that 585 previous resistance right here to react to support, right? So you need to understand the key critical make or break level is 589. If we hold 589, then the bulls are still hanging on by a thread. For the bulls to take some control of this situation and not drop right away to this 584, for the bulls to have that reversal before 584, this is what needs to happen. We need to hold above 590.58 to 591. If we can hold above that, the next level we're going to is 595, which again is another key critical make or break level. You can see if 595 reacts as a support, we're going to be exploding up to $600. If 595 reacts as a resistance, we're going to be dropping back down to 590.50 to 589. So in order for the bulls to take control heading into the market tomorrow, we need a break above 590.58. So if we're holding 589 like we are right here, and then we break above this 590.58, we start forming some higher support, is going to start to rocket to 595. Next level above that is going to be 599 to 600. For the bears to really maintain control, we need a crack below 589, new lower highs, react as a resistance. If that occurs, then we buy call options at the lower levels. So that's what you need to understand, man. Break below 589, bears take control, we go to 584, look for dip buying opportunities below that level. Break above 590.58, form a floor, bulls are in control, going to start to rocket up like it did last time, right? Now, if you were to take the overall measured move, the measured move says we can still have some more downside to 584. So I'm telling you, man, 589 is hanging on by a thread. That's the hanging on by a thread level. If it cracks, spikes back up, forms lower highs, reacts as a resistance, it's going to be puts. And it's going to be puts until about 585 to 584 and then calls, in between that zone to lower 582 gap close reversal. If we push above 590.50 to 591 and 589 is holding solid, we're forming higher support, then it's going to start to rocket back up to the next level, 595. Next level above that is going to be 599 to 600, right? So I'm telling you, this chart is just very, very simple. I broke it down on the daily chart, just to show you a glimpse in terms of the 30-minute chart and how it looks. 589 is hanging on by a fucking thread. If it cracks, reacts as a resistance, we're going to drop another 4 points, right? If we break above 590.50 to 591, we're going to be going to 595. That's the next level. The next level above that is going to be 600. Now, in terms of later this week, a key level of interest to be buying put options on the SPY is going to be 601.82. 601.82 gap close reversal, right? So that's the overall game plan. That's the overall levels. Very, very simple. Write down those levels and trade at these levels. Again, just very, very fucking simple, man. In terms of the overall daily chart, very fucking simple. 582 gap close reversal, auto buy calls. 584, 585, based off the measured move, it should bounce and have a reversal there without a confirmation. And then 585.75, this is going to be, the break and retest level. Resistance hasn't tested. Once it drops back down, tries to bounce. And then 589 is hanging on by a thread, right? So if we go under 589, bears take control, we drop back down to fill the gap that is waiting to fill below in between this bullish zone, start to have the reversal there instead of 590.50, right? This is make or break. If the SPY cracks through this fucking support level, there is no fucking support and it's going to drop to fill the gap and it's going to drop to these previous resistance levels to bounce and reverse around that zone, right? If we bottom at 589, then it's going to start to spike to 591. We turn that into support. Then we go to 595. If we turn that into support, then we go to 600. Then we go to 602. So the ladder I'm giving you, 602, best level for puts. Next level below that is going to be 599. Next level below that is going to be 595. Next level below that is going to be 591.50, right? This gap reversal level. So in a sense, this gap still has not filled during normal trading hours session, right? So keep an eye on that 591.60. I'm telling you, that's that make or break gap close reversal. 589, hanging on by a fucking thread. For the bears to take in control, it needs to drop under 589, right? If we drop under 589, there's no fucking support. Bears going to drop it another 4 fucking points. We're looking at a reversal towards 585, 584, and 582. Buying call options scaling into those overall levels. That is the game plan, man. So simple. Heading into market open tomorrow, you need to focus on 589 and 591.50, right? And then the level below that you need to focus on is going to be the 585, 584, 582. And then the upper level later into this week that you need to focus on, 602. So I gave you the overall ladder. I gave you the ranges. Make sure you use confirmations at these overall ladders. You know, some levels, obviously, in terms of preparation, along with the trading strategies, I'm going to be more bullish or bearish at certain levels. But at the end of the day, you know, this is a ladder, and you have to confirm if the ladder is reacting as support or as resistance, is reacting bullish or bearish. So use some sort of confirmations. Don't just blindly trade a ladder, right? In terms of the ladder, you know, there is some strategies within the ladder. It's not all just prices, like 602, that's a gap close reversal, where the SPY can potentially have a reversal. 582 is a gap close reversal, and based off the patterns, 584, 585, previous resistance react support, can potentially have a reversal. Based off the measured move, SPY can potentially drop lower before having that overall reversal. So it might not bottom at 589 immediately, it might bottom towards that 584 to 585 overall range, right? And then your make or break levels, 589, crack below, spike back up, react as a resistance, bears in control, break above 591.50, turn into support as long as we're holding above 589. Bulls are in control. Next level above that, 595, nothing fucking special. 599, nothing fucking special. So, I mean, the main ladders that really aren't too special are like 595. The main levels within the ladder are 595 and 599. You know, and I gave you the strategies. Previous resistance to react to support, break and retest, measured move reversal, gap close reversal, make or break support, 589. Gap breakdown, if it cracks, there's no fucking support. That's why it's called a gap breakdown. It gapped up, take the low of day, no fucking support. 591.50, break and fucking retest, you know, for an overall bullish reversal instead of bottoming at 589. But look, man, if we just measured the overall move and looked at the overall pattern, it's likely gonna just keep on fucking dropping. But for that to fucking happen, it needs to crack under 589. If we can't form resistance at 589 and we're forming a floor at 590.50 to 591, then it's going to have the bullish reversal earlier. Either way, at that lower fucking zone, it's going to be an automatic dip buy towards 585 to 584. So based off the measured move, it's going to try to keep on fucking dropping first. But again, that's just one measured move. Just confirm if 589 is reacting as a floor or as a fucking roof. The cracks, spikes back up, lower highs, then it's fucking puts. If it's bottom at 589 and then you see support forming at 591, 591.50, you're seeing higher fucking support forming and 589 is not getting take out, then it's calls, calls, calls. Very fucking simple, man. It's the simplest fucking game plan. Use this game plan, use this information, print money at the speed of fucking light tomorrow. Losing is a personal choice. Going red tomorrow is a personal fucking choice. The market here is setting up for a highly predictable move to be trading both ways heading into tomorrow. So that's the overall game plan. Use this information, you know, to make money. In terms of the overall SPY, we had a gap at 608. I told you it was likely going to break above the gap. And then after that, like, I'm not buying fucking calls at new all-time fucking highs. And then in terms of, you know, Friday's fucking close, if you're seeing a red bearish daily fucking candlestick at the fucking gap, reversing at the gap, it's like all the patterns were there, man. Like, who the fuck is going to be buying calls at new all-time fucking highs when we were milking that fucking bull trend from the fucking start since January 27th, right? And then in terms of the overall trend, if you just looked at the fucking patterns, man, this is just the same fucking trend, the same fucking history happening over and over fucking again. Like, you could just see this green bullish uptrend, this green bullish uptrend, this green bullish uptrend. There's a gap to fill right here. It closes the fucking gap, red and bearish, red and bearish. There's a gap to fill right here. It closes the fucking gap, red and bearish. And then it starts to sell the fuck off. And then it starts to sell the fuck off. And then it starts to fill this gap that's waiting to fucking fill there. Like, you get the fucking point. So that's the fucking game plan. Those are the fucking levels. Use the fucking levels to print fucking money at the speed of fucking light. Understood? Great. Okay, so in terms of the trades, let's get into the trades. So in terms of the trades, let's get into this here real quick. So I'm gonna break this down here for you. I ended up going 3 for 4 on Friday. G-Roar absolutely crushed it as well. So as you can see, we have a real-time zero-date options train alert system inside of Team Roar. And you get access to a morning game plan with key levels. And I'm not going to be going all over all the parts and aspects to the overall system. You have to be in the program and in the group to experience this, right? But anyways, first trade on the day at market open was 605 SPY puts for 70 cents a contract. The puts quickly went to 82 cents. So that's an overall win. We set the profit stops when we're up like 10, 15%. Now, in terms of the next trade, let's buy 425 Tesla calls for 57 cents. These Tesla calls went all the way to 92 fucking cents at the speed of fucking light. That is a 100% win. That's 2 for 2. Now, in terms of the next trade, at 10 a.m., right? So literally 30 minutes in, we already have 2 wins. 610 SPY calls for 46 cents a contract. These calls quickly went, as you can see, man, all the way to fucking 82 cents plus. That's 3 for 3. Now, in terms of the 4th fucking win, this one was fucking massive. This is 4 wins in a row up by 1:30 p.m. Look at this. Let's buy 605 SPY puts for 50 cents a contract. These are the option quote prices moving in real fucking time. You don't even have to check the fucking chain. This is all alerted 100% in real time. These went from 50 cents all the way, look at this, to 150 cents. That's a 200% return on fucking puts, 4 for 4. And that fucking trade happened in fucking minutes, in 8 fucking minutes, right? So those were all the massive fucking wins. And then after 4 massive fucking wins, we had a dead on arrival. You know, as soon as 607 calls was alerted, didn't work out, don't touch. So phenomenal, man, 4 for 4. And then in terms of my overall trades, I'm gonna break this down here for you. So in terms of the first trade that I ended up making, I ended up getting in 610 SPY calls for 43 cents a contract. This trade quickly went up 35% plus. We had a lot of members win on that one. I had a very good trim alert right here at 12:33 p.m. So in terms of the next fucking trade, we had 606 calls at 106 cents, right? And then I ended up selling this trade, and take a look at this. As soon as I entered these fucking calls, man, take a look at this. As soon as G-Roar ended up exiting the fucking puts at 1:38 p.m., I ended up buying calls at 1:38 p.m. As soon as he fucking exited that trade, I got in 606 SPY calls for 106 cents a fucking contract. I ended up getting out 152 cents. These fucking calls printed like fucking crazy if you held some runners. So yeah, as you can see, man, Friday was fucking phenomenal. It was unlimited fucking winning. It was unlimited fucking printing. Had, you know, SPY 606 53 calls for 53 cents. Those ended up, you know, not doing as the best. But in terms of this trade, 602 calls at 71 cents. These fucking killed it. You know, these fucking killed it. Those overall trades came back to life. The 602 calls came back to life. So I went 3 for 4. G-Roar went 4 for 4. Now, for those of you who are serious about trading alongside with us, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. You gain access to our trades. You gain access to a real-time zero-date options train alert system. We're known for buying cheap, far out-of-the-money option contracts, extremely cheap, extremely low risk. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. We have the highest win rate in the game doing this with this overall trading style of zero-date options trading, right? Over a decade plus of experience. With that being said, if you want to trade alongside multi-millionaires, it's the first link down below within the description. In terms of the zero-date options train alert system, I'm not going to be going over everything. But like I said, we have the highest win rate in the game doing this over a decade's fucking experience. G-Roar is a fucking multi-millionaire. And in terms of the overall trades, man, it's just unlimited fucking winning. There's morning trades, middle of the day, power hour. It's non-fucking stop printing. It's just all we do is fucking print all fucking day. Market open, middle of the day, power hour. I mainly trade during middle of the day and on power hour trading session. G-Roar, he trades during all periods of day. Absolutely crushes it during the market open session and power hour as well. But yeah, man. In terms of the system, like I said, we set profit stops to ensure that, you know, we don't go green to red. When we're green on a trade, we set a profit stop, we get stopped out for profit. And we also move the profit stop up higher to ensure that we don't get back the bulk of our gains. We trim, we hold, we leave runners, we sell the runners deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. And we don't use stop losses. You know, we don't use stop losses. We put in our max risk per trade as our entire position size. The most you lose into the option contracts is what you put in. we put in our max risk per trade. So therefore, we just let the trade expire worthless and go to zero. We rarely sell for the loss. We trade the trend. The contract's coming back to life, even if we don't time it perfectly. And there's many trades. There's many trades in situations where in certain trades, we'll be down, we call it a dead play, when we're down like 50% on a trade. We hold it, it comes back to life 70% of the time. And as we're down 50% plus, if we see an opportunity, we buy a second strike with the trend. The second strike is a much better entry than the first one. Both the strikes print, but the second strike goes fucking crazy in that situation as long as we're right about the trend. So we're buying these cheap bar out of money option contracts, and we have the entire day to sell them. We have the entire day to set a profit stop when we're green to get stopped out for profits. And we have the entire day to sell them deep in the money as well, right? So like I said, man, the dead plays do tend to come back to life. We tend to time the trades very, very accordingly. Like you could just see, man, fucking everything on fucking Friday, we just timed perfectly to a fucking T. Like this was the best trade of the fucking day. These puts at 1:30 p.m. during the middle of the fucking day. We got in 605 SPY puts for 50 cents a contract, and in just 8 minutes, we sold those for a 200% fucking return, man. It's fucking crazy. A 200% return in 8 fucking minutes. So if you want to trade alongside us in our community and gain access to a real-time zero-day options trading alert system, it's the first link down below within the description. Our trading style is the complete opposite in the complete different way of trading than everybody else is. Like I said, we let the percentage gains do the work for us. In terms of the gains, we hold the trades longer to increase the gains as well. And we also add to winners. Adding to winners helps increase our gains as well. When we're up a little bit, instead of selling for a small win, we add to wins, and then we set a profit stop. One small move in our favor, right? Then it protects our new average cost in that particular situation. So, just giving you some of the basics in terms of what we do. If you want to trade alongside with us, it's the first link down below within the description. I can assure you, in terms of this week, and especially heading into the market tomorrow, we are going to absolutely fucking crush it, man. The whole group has been on fucking fire, man. There's a lot of light within the group, and I'm telling you, we're going to be printing at the speed of fucking light heading into tomorrow, man. The energy is fucking perfect. Everything is spot on. And I'm telling you, man, Gio and I, we are going to fucking crush it heading into this week. So if you're serious about making money and trading alongside with us, it's the first link down below within the description. You're going to see, man, you're going to gain a lot of experience trading alongside us in our community. So it's the first link down below within the description. If you would like to join us, Team Roar is massive. We have many, many members. We have, hundreds of members who've been with us for over 16 months plus. And if you're looking for a secured private organization who has a real-time zero-day options trading alert system that is printing money at the speed of fucking light all fucking day, market open, middle of the day, power fucking hour, and has, the best options trading community you're ever going to fucking see, is the first link down below within the description, man. You get access to my trades as well. So with that being said, I'm going to be signing off. I will see you guys within the chat. We're going to absolutely crush it heading into tomorrow.